Hey everybody, Jim Powers with NCAA.com. Glad to have you with us as we continue our Division II Elite Eight pre-championship press conferences. And what an outstanding year. They're from Colorado. They're the Colorado School of Mines. And joining us is their head coach, Pryor Orser, and one of their outstanding student athletes, Brendan Sullivan. And first off, guys, congratulations. It's been a while since you've been back to the Elite Eight, so I know it's got to be a very exciting time, Coach.
Yeah, it is. We're excited. I mean, obviously we want to take advantage of this opportunity and play well. The last time that we went, we felt we didn't play well, and we felt obviously Bellarmine played really, really well, but I think we're in a really, really good mindset right now, and we're excited to be able to play, and hopefully we can play, and we test negative every day.
Well, that's going to be my next question. And I mean, and this is going to be for both of you, but I'm going to phrase it one for Coach and then a little bit differently for you, Brendan. But first, Coach, how crazy of a year has it been just with, COVID protocols and not knowing if there was going to be a season to the point to where you get to the regional and then next thing you know, you're going to Evansville to play for a national championship.
Right. Well, as you know, it was just a year ago. We were on the bus going to West Texas for the NCAA regional. We got called off the road, so we didn't have an NCAA tournament. And then abruptly, soon after that, everything was shut down, and so we never saw each other until the fall. And we didn't see the guys in the spring. We didn't see them in the summer. We really didn't see them much in the fall either because we had some positives, and a lot of guys were in quarantine. So we really didn't have hardly had any workouts, and obviously safety was number one priority, and so we really didn't start playing any 5-on-5 till the end of October. But it was a testament to our guys. They did as much as they could do, playing outside, trying to stay in shape, trying to stay sharp, doing all their lifting on their own, and I'm really, really proud of our team to just staying in there and hanging in there with us. And because it wasn't easy, but we're also thankful for this opportunity, thankful from our administration to allow us to play the NCAA, and I think we've all got it figured out and how to do this thing. So, and I don't know, Brendan, you can add further to that as a player.
Yeah, let's go to Brandon. And the one thing, and in talking to a lot of student athletes, especially here at the institution I work at, one of the biggest things for the student athletes was trying to find some place to go and something to do in the spring and the summer. There were no gyms open, there were no weight rooms open, different things along those lines. So you kind of had to go old school to kind of, stay in shape and do different things. And I think a lot of players have actually fallen back in love with the game, so to say, because they kind of had it taken away from them for a little bit and they had to go back to the old school driveway and the hoop on the chain link hoops and those kind of things. I mean, was that kind of your mindset, Brendan?
Yeah, it totally was. So when we got back, I didn't get back into a gym until the fall, and we were able to get back into our gym here at Mines. And all summer, me and my brother were just driving around to different parks, trying to find out which one was the best one, had the easiest rims to shoot on, just different things like that. So it really did make you more thankful for being able to be in the gym.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit now on your side, Brendan, just the whole thing. We talked a little bit about just driving around trying to find some hoops to shoot, but obviously just a absolute different look and feel to the season this year. But the year that you guys have had, I mean, there was a stretch you guys were number one in the country. You've had a great season. Talk a little bit about how once you got into the season, how things were able to go for y'all.
Well, so all of us kind of had a mindset that this season it's kind of a bonus for all of us since we have that extra eligibility. And with being number one, it was weird because when we got to number one, we had I think 3-week break because we had COVID issues. But then it was just kind of like, as number one, we had a target on our back, and it was just, I don't know, our league, everyone played super well against us all throughout the season. So I feel like that's almost gotten us prepared because every single game's been tough. So then once we got to our regional, it was just kind of smooth sailing.
Coach, the RMAC is no joke when it comes to basketball. I get a chance to follow it a little bit being from the Midwest here. But there are some outstanding teams in your conference. Talk a little bit about, just a couple breaks here and there, but how well the guys have kind of put everything together to get to this point to where they're at. Coach?
Yes, I mean, obviously, it's really a challenging league with the expanse of the league and the traveling involved. And I mean, obviously, our team, I thought last year it was probably as good a league as we've ever had from top to bottom. And then, obviously with COVID, there's challenges this year, and some teams really jumped up. And I thought Mesa had just a terrific team, and they didn't play well in their last game, but I thought they were great. We had some other teams that were right there for the NCAA tournament, with Adams State and Black Hills State, and there was just some other things. But the league is challenging because of the travel piece. You're playing back to back. You're playing Friday, Saturday, and when you do go on the road, I mean, you're on the bus after the game or the next day, and you have to drive 3 or 4 hours, try to get to your shoot around, your practice time. So it's really, really challenging. And our team stepped up, and I think Brendan alluded to that. Once we were number one, I mean, it was a huge target. And then Mesa found that out too. Once they were number one, it's not easy being number one. And but it was. I mean, all in all, it's been awesome, and it's fun to play in the RMAC. It's competitive, and there's some really good coaches in the league as well.
And that region was no joke. And I'm going to say this: I watched a lot of the games on Tuesday night. The regional championships were just unbelievable, from East Coast to West Coast. I mean, there's just no getting away that this field going to Evansville may be one of the deepest fields we've seen in a while. And Coach, you've been to a couple of them. You can maybe allude to that, but Brendan, the one thing that I've said is there's not a big difference between Division I and Division II, especially after some of these regional championships that we saw earlier this week.
No, yeah, I completely agree with that. Obviously, like the D1 level, there's a little more size, a little more athleticism, but all these teams that are going to the regional this week in a mid-major conference would be probably top of the pack. So it's just some of these teams are really, really good.
Coach
O, talk a little bit about just the Elite field.
We have the opportunity every once in a while to play some Division I's and here, and obviously they don't really want to play us because of the level of our team, but we get some opportunities to have some scrimmages and exhibition games, and we played CU a few years back, a couple years in a row. So I mean, obviously we play against that level. We see it a lot, and that's what's really in the news. But when I sit down and I look at film, and I look at the film of these Elite Eight teams, I think I'm watching some mid-major Division I teams, to be honest with you. So we're excited, and I mean, we think that, in the right Division I league, our team would just fare very well. So there's really good coaches, and I mean, we're just honestly looking forward to the opportunity to play against the best talent in the nation in Division II.
You've got Brendan there, but I know there's a couple other guys on your team that have really stepped up to the plate. Your guard play has just been absolutely unbelievable. I mean, the bigs are terrific, but guard play has just been out of sight for you guys.
Yes, I would agree. I mean, I think we can start with Kobe Betts, and we're really proud of his development since he's been at Mines. And he's found a place. We found a place for him. He's been terrific. He's a great leader, and he's a bit of a hard guard, playing the point guard position, even though he's really a combo guard. And then our other guy is Ben Boone. He can defend anybody. He's just a magnificent position defender. And now we're getting some contributions off the bench with Trent Dykeman and Thurman Knowles. So those guys are awesome. And then we have an elite player in Brendan Sullivan. He's an elite level player, and he gets a lot of attention. He gets the best defender every night, and they're all over him. But I'm really proud of his development, and I mean, he can post, he can shoot it, he can get to the basket, he can finish, and once you get a player like that, you're in a really great place as a team.
Well, not only is he getting it done on the court for you, he was also the RMAC Academic Player of the Year in civil engineering. So He's also pretty doggone smart as well out there, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I mean, so all our players are engineering majors since we're specialized STEM, but
Right.
he's an upper level dude, and we give him a bad time about it, but he's an outstanding student. He's very conscientious, and as many of our players are. But Brendan's special, and he's obviously got a high GPA, and he does extraordinarily well here at Mines. It's a great fit for Mines. Mines is a great fit for him, and he's a great fit for Mines.
Brendan, how were you able to juggle everything? I mean, that's such an impressive accolade right there. But how are you just able to juggle the rigors of practices and games and being on a bus for 3-4 hours at a time and getting your classwork done and getting after it in that aspect?
Well, a couple things. First off, our coaches are understanding of stuff. So like if we have a tough day of school, like and we don't perform well at practice, they're not super on us about stuff like that. And also, since everyone's in the same classes, everyone's in engineering, it helps out that no one really is going out and doing stuff, or like on a normal year, obviously. But it helps that everyone is focused on school and it's not just like one person who's grinding through engineering and everyone else is doing other majors. So that's definitely what helps out the most.
No doubt. Well, congratulations on that. That's an unbelievable accomplishment.
Thank
Let's
you.
talk a little bit about Lincoln Memorial. They year in and year out, we know what they're all about, Coach. You had a chance to see them a couple years ago. Didn't get a chance to play them, so this is the first ever meeting against them. What are some of the
Right.
things you've already seen on film?
Well, obviously you see a well-coached team. That's first and foremost. They defend, they guard, they play both ends. They're a two-way team, much like we are. But I think the thing that stands out is they have really good offensive players. They can shoot it, and they shoot it well. They shoot the three ball well. They can all make threes. Their five can make threes. So they're a difficult guard, and we have to have our ears laid back for to be successful against this team. And but we like our matchup. We feel good about it, but we know this is an unbelievable challenge to play a team that has so many skilled players. They have good athletes, but the good athletes can also shoot the ball and score it. And then they have some excellent passers. So, and then they have a five that can shoot it, and he's a difficult guard, and he's a good finisher, and he's a good rebounder. So, it's a great challenge, and but again, I like our team. I like our matchup. I like our matchups at the guard position, and I think it should be a really competitive, exciting game.
Brendan, you guys pretty much all year long have hung your hat on the defensive side of things. When you look at what Link Memorial and their guards are going to bring to the table, this has got to be a day where you got to bring the lunch pails and the hard hats and continue to do it defensively like you guys have done it all year long. I mean, y'all are number 3 in the country in points allowed at 60.5. So it's going to be that effort, isn't it?
Yeah, and that team can score like no other team in the country. I think what they have 120 in their last game.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to. That's how we're going to be able to win this game. We're not a team that fills it up. We play slower, so the game's obviously going to be a little bit less scoring pace than that. But we just have to make sure that we don't give them any easy threes, any easy layups. It's just we have to make them work for everything, or else it's going to be a long night.
No doubt about it. Well, guys, I know it's a busy time trying to get everything situated to head to Evansville, but we appreciate it. Wish I could see you guys play in person next week, but I'll be watching from back here, and we'll talk to you after all the games. But we want to thank you for your time. Congratulations and good luck next week down in Evansville.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joining us once again from Colorado School of Mines, their head coach, Pryor Orser, and one of their outstanding student athletes, Brendan Sullivan. You'll be able to see them play in the quarterfinals on Wednesday against Lincoln Memorial down at the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana. And it's going to be a great week of basketball. We hope you're enjoying all of these pre-championship interviews that we're putting together for you on NCAA.com. For the coach and our players, I'm Jim Powers. Thanks so much once again for checking us out on NCAA.com.